Hi guys, today we're going to create a mixed media owl. And before we do that, I want to read to you a book that's called All About Owls. Now, sometimes artists study or research whatever they're going to create. You could be in nature looking for an owl and see how their wings spread open, and that will give you ideas how to make your artwork. Today I'm going to read you a book, and I want you to look at the pictures and see the different types of eyes and feathers and textures and lines and shapes that owls have. All About Owls by Jim Arnosky. Have you ever wondered about owls? How many kinds of owls there are? Where do they live? Why are owls' eyes so big? What do owls eat? This book answers all of these questions and more. It's all about owls. Owls are birds of prey, which means they hunt, kill, and eat small animals. Eagles and hawks are also birds of prey, but they are daytime birds. Owls are creatures of the night. After sleeping all day, they awaken at dusk and hunt till dawn. There are 134 species of owls in the world. These 12 show just how different the species of owls are in size and color. Owls live in all kinds of places, from the desert to the Arctic tundra. These are North American owls. Each owl's name, average length, and habitat is listed near its picture. All owls, big or small, have large round heads with flat facial discs, sharply hooked beaks, and big eyes that face forward. Here is what a saw-whet owl looks like close up. Although owls appear to be plump and very heavy, they weigh very little. Most of what you see are loose, fluffy feathers. Underneath its feathers, this saw-whet owl's body is about the same size as a robin's. The so-called eared owls or horned owls are named for the tufts of feathers on their head that look like ears or horns. Owls' eyes are fixed in the sockets and cannot move very much. To look from side to side, an owl must turn its head. Not only do owls have excellent night vision, they also have a keen sense of hearing. On the darkest nights, owls can locate and chase prey by sound alone. Certain species of owls, such as the snowy owl and the short-eared owl, hunt both day and night. But most owls are nighttime hunters. Owls that are most active at night are called nocturnal. There are two other nocturnal animals on this page. Can you find them? Because owls are nocturnal, people rarely see them. The easiest way to tell which owls are living around you is to listen for their calls. There are many different owl calls as there are species of owls, but the three most commonly heard and easiest to identify are the calls of the great horned owl, the barred owl, and the screech owl. Owls call most frequently in late winter or early spring, which is their mating season. Throughout the rest of the year, pairs of owls call back and forth just to keep tabs on one another's movements. Snowy owls and short-eared owls nest on the ground. Burrowing owls nest under the ground. All other species of owls nest high up in the natural cavities of trees, abandoned woodpecker holes, or deserted crow or squirrel nests. Newborn owls are covered with soft, downy feathers and cannot fly. At first, they eat only food that is regurgitated or spit up by their parents. Very soon, the owlets are fed torn bits of prey. At 6 weeks of age, owls are big enough to fly and leave the nest and learn to hunt for themselves. When hunting, owls watch for any movement in the night. They listen for rustling sounds of mice on the ground or wafting sound of a moth wing in the air. Owls eat more rodents than anything else they eat. The smaller species of owls will eat insects, especially moths. Larger owls also eat weasels, rabbits, snakes, and other birds, including smaller owls. An owl uses its beak to pick apart large prey. Small animals are swallowed whole. Indigestible bones and fur are coughed up in a form of a compact wad called a pellet. An owl is a crow's worst enemy. Night hunting owls pounce on sleeping crows. Owls raid the nest of crows and other birds. If an owl is discovered by a crow during the daylight hours, the entire flock of crows will mob the owl, repeatedly diving at its head to drive it away. So during the day, owl always tries to stay out of sight. In North America, it is against the law for any persons to harass or harm owls. Owls are just as beneficial in cities as they are in the countryside because they feed mainly on rodents. This helps the rodent population keep the rodent population in control. And of course, wherever they live, owls add a sense of mystery to the sounds and silence of the night. All right, let's get started. We're going to create our bird here. I have a brown piece of paper. If you don't have brown, use white. Any color you want. You don't even have to use brown. You could use something fun like purple or blue. Now, we need to take this rectangular piece of paper and we've got to turn it into a square. I'm going to take one of these long corners, bring it up so it lines up along the edge, give it a nice crease. Grab my scissors, and then I can go ahead and cut right along that edge, getting rid of my extra paper and save that for later. Now I have a square. Have your square lined up so that folded edge goes along horizontally. We're going to fold the top point down to that folded edge. This is going to turn into our head. There's our head. Then we will take the side point. This is going to turn into one of the wings. You can bring it over. And then go ahead and grab the other side. Fold that over to the center and give it a good crease. Now we have the basic shape of our owl. We're going to have to go ahead and give it some good details. Now, I just read that book about owls. I know about their feathers and their eyes and their faces. We're going to start with the belly. I'm going to decide what kind of line do I want to make some feathers going across the owl's chest. I actually found a gold pencil, but you could use a white crayon, a white pencil, or a black marker, whatever you like. And you can do any kind of line you want to make that texture. These are just scallop lines. If you didn't want to do scallop lines, you could have done zigzag lines or wavy lines or just done a few scallops here and there. The choice is yours. Now, if we do the wings, I drew my wings on. Once again, you can use a variety of materials. Think like an artist. If you don't have something that I'm using, what could you substitute for it? If I didn't have pencil, could I have gotten a different color of paper and made my own feathers? Absolutely, absolutely. So you're going to go ahead and do both sides of the wings. And now let's talk about the tail. If you want, you can go ahead and fringe your tail with your scissors, just cutting not all the way up, but partially, and then you can fluff up those tail feathers. Or you can use your finger, hold your paper down, and then go ahead and tear. This one's a little trickier, so you have to go slow and think what you're doing. But that looks real fluffy and feathery like a tail feather of an owl. The last thing we're going to do is the eyes. Now, if you like to recycle, you could go dig through your recycle bins and find a couple caps that you may have used on your milk cartons. Or you can go ahead and get your white paper, fold it in half, draw a circle. If you need to trace one, you can do that. Go ahead and cut it in half. And then we'll go ahead and glue those down. If you don't have glue, what could you use? Tape? You got it. Now we can think about, where's our crow or our owl looking? Are they looking up in the air because the crows are coming after them? Maybe. They could be looking down below, seeing if they see a little mouse running across the field. Your last step is your beak. I'm going to take a yellow piece of paper, and I want my beak to open like it did in this one. So I can fold it in half. I'm going to hold the fold. See, here's the opening. I'm going to take my scissors, diagonal line, and now my beak opens and shuts like that. If you have two triangles, no fear, that can be your beak too. You can just go ahead and glue it onto your owl face. We can go ahead and add our nostrils if we like. And voila, our owl is ready. So I want you to know that artists sometimes research what they're going to create by reading books or looking at the internet or watching different things out in nature, so they understand how these animals work or how they need to draw or create them.